Would I be the asshole for telling my roommate she can't have her boyfriend over tonight even though she is hurt? My 22F roommate, 24F, and I just moved in together on campus housing at the beginning of the month. We are assigned roommates, so I didn't really know her previously to moving in with her. Before we had even moved in together, she was asking me if her boyfriend could come over a lot. I told her I didn't mind, but maybe not all the time because men that I don't know tend to make me uncomfortable due to past traumas. She acknowledged this and said it was fine. On our first night of moving in together, she asked me if her boyfriend could spend the night because she claimed she wouldn't see him the next day due to his work schedule. I told her I didn't mind as long as he wasn't left there when she wasn't there. I'm not sure if there was a miscommunication or if she misunderstood me, but he continued to spend the night every single night for the next week and a half until I said something. I sent her a text while I was out with my friends simply asking if we could maybe split up the time that he spent the night because it was too much. I asked if Mondays Thursdays could be days where he didn't spend the night since it was during the week and I would be studying and working, and Fridays Sundays he could spend the night and whatnot. I didn't tell her she couldn't have him over at all on Mondays Thursdays but that he just couldn't spend the night. However, after she agreed to this, she proceeded to spend every night at his house, so Mondays Thursdays I was pretty much by myself in our apartment. Which is fine because at least she was still getting to see him and I was getting my space as well. However, last night at midnight my roommate texts me stating that she suddenly couldn't walk anymore. And this morning she limped to my room and said, she couldn't walk at all, and she has to work 5:10 p.m. tonight, and then stated this, I know you said you don't want him here on Mondays but I asked if he could just spend the night tonight in case I need help getting up to go to the bathroom. I just stared at her and said it was fine because I don't like confrontation, but I am actually kind of hurt by this. I feel that she's taking advantage of my kindness and she didn't even ask me if that was okay, she just threw it on me without talking to me. Am I reading too much into this? How do I address this? This is my first time living on my own and with a roommate. Edit. I want to add that my roommate never specified how she got injured. She just suddenly told me she couldn't walk and never specified why. I was with her all last night, and never heard her fall, but it could have been from something else, who knows. I also want to add that no, I do not know her boyfriend. He doesn't make an effort to talk to me and I don't go out of my way to talk to him because my roommate is weird when girls talk to her boyfriend. Edit 2. I wanted to mention this as well, her boyfriend is not a student at our school, he does not go to college at all. Edit 3. I wanted to mention this as well, not this Sunday but last Sunday. When he was there and we were all standing in the kitchen together, she said this with him standing right next to us. I know you said you don't like having him around, so we're just here to hang out tonight. This is how she brings up issues in terms of him spending the night, right in front of him, and never really just asking. When I tried to clarify what she meant by this, she avoided the situation entirely and went into her room with him. No assholes here, just tell her to sleep in your room with you, and you can help her to the bathroom if needed. Problem solved. Info. Are you willing to help her to the bathroom if she needs it? Info. What is the school's policy on guests? Also, do you have separate bedrooms or is it like a dorm room? If she suddenly can't walk, she probably needs a doctor, not a boyfriend. But yeah, WIBTA. Also, your initial discomfort was over having strange men around. Surely you know your roommate's boyfriend at this point. Not the asshole. Your roommate is taking advantage. You signed up to share with one other person and you're effectively sharing with two, and your roommate doesn't like you talking to her BF? It sounds like an incredibly awkward and uncomfortable situation. You might feel that you have to come up with a solution that makes her happy, or that you can't voice your opinion because it's rude, but your obligation here is to yourself. Your roommate certainly isn't looking out for you. Speak to the RAW or whoever and just tell them it isn't a good fit and you'd like to be reassigned. Am I the asshole for demanding the family ring? Hi, I'm F26 and my fiancé M30 are engaged and our wedding set to be in 1 week. My fiancé proposed to me last year and gifted me a beautiful diamond ring. I in return brought his ring. My fiancé were engaged before me when he was 22 years old and his ex-fiancée Sarah was his best friend, but the relationship didn't work out and they broke up. Now they have semi-friend relationship because they have a lot of mutual friends. I never actually liked her, she full of herself, but we didn't cross paths so we were cool. Last week in my bachelorette party, that my sil prepared for me, Sarah come wearing a staining diamond ring, very unique one and looks very familiar. And she started showing off her ring, but I thought good for her, she have a beautiful ring. Later I heard my sil telling Sarah she was asshole for wearing the ring and should take it off. So later I asked my sil why she told Sarah that, and she told me that was our family heirloom that her great-grandfather made that my fiancé gift Sarah. He proposed with that ring. I will be lying if I told I wasn't angry she intentionally wear that ring so she could show off. I asked my sil why didn't Sarah return the ring. She told me that Sarah refused to return it because she loved it so much and Mill instead that was okay. I find it very weird that she still has it, especially because of his great value to the family. Yesterday in a family dinner my Mill told me in front of everyone, don't be sad, we like Sarah so she can have that family ring because she's family. I didn't tell anyone, not even my fiancé, what happened in the party, and my sil didn't also. And before I said anything my fiancé told his mother that she stole that ring and no one even like Sarah, she's your friend daughter and not family, and Sarah was uninvited from the wedding because of her behavior. Of course Mill threw a tantrum but stopped when he told her that he will uninvite her too. Later that night, my Phil apologized for Mill behavior and told me that it's okay to demand that ring because it's yours. Today at uni Sarah come to me still wearing that ring and demand that I invites her back to the wedding and not to be a petty, and oh boy that was the last straw. I demanded that she hand me the ring and that she stole what mine. I just get a text in my fiancé family group chat from Mill saying, am I the asshole for demanding the family ring? So am I the asshole here? Edit. I don't want the ring, it's just the idea of her having it bother me. Also, my Mill behavior. Update. Hi everyone. Thank you all for your input. I talked with my fiancé about it, and he told me not to bother myself with them and he will take care of everything. I told him after reading all your comments that I understand that I didn't have any clam for the ring, I just felt angry at Sarah and Mill behaviors and stressed because of the wedding and uni exams. Last month my fiancé grandparents gifted me all the family heirlooms. My Mill didn't get anything because my fiancé grandmother didn't like her. And she also gave a certificate that all of them are mine to use or gift as a want. I will be looking at it to see if that ring registers there. Your fiancé should have been the one to have the confrontation with Sarah. Technically, you aren't married yet and have no claim to anything from his family. Everyone is awful and I can elaborate, but really there's no point. His ex-fiancé and best friend is hanging around, wearing his family diamond, and you're still going through with this marriage? What a group of horrible people. It is not your ring. Simple as that. You can't demand that she hand it over. Also, she is in the wrong for wearing it to your bachelorette party. Why was Due even there in the first place? She wore it purposely because of what it meant. I wouldn't have her at the wedding for sure. She sucks for flaunting it like that, and she definitely shouldn't be invited to the wedding anymore. But it was gifted to her and trying to get it back is just fanning the flames and causing more drama. Enjoy your beautiful ring and your marriage and don't stoop to her level. Am I the asshole? Dude called the police on me for sitting in my car. I decided to go for a drive until around 9. The sun set around 8:30. And I end up parking on the street of a rich neighborhood, just to listen to music and sit on my phone. It's not super loud. All the windows are up, it's no louder than someone having a conversation, and my car has an exhaust, but again idling is not that loud. I look up for a second from my phone and catch a glimpse of a person by my passenger window. It's not a dangerous neighborhood obviously, so I figure it's someone checking their phone or something. I look up again a minute later and they're still standing there. I roll down the window and say, "Yo, what's up, can I help you?" And the dude crouches down and says, "Are you good?" I am thinking, what on earth is this dude doing? So I say I'm fine, and roll up the window thinking it's a bit odd, but not really caring. I go back to looking at my phone, and look in the mirror to see the dude taking pictures of my license plate. So now I get out of the car, and I say, "You got a problem or something?" And I'm more confused than I am angry at this point because I was literally just texting people and listening to rap. His response is, "I just want to make sure I have this in case you do anything sketchy." And I get it, it might not be the best or most reassuring place to sit, and it's not really hurting anyone to take a picture of the plate just in case, so I get back in thinking that's the end of it. I start texting people about how weird it was and look up 5 minutes later to the dude still standing right behind the car. At this point I'm weirded out because I thought he left, and another 5 minutes later, I look in the back window and the dude is still like 10 feet behind the car. So I get out again and I'm like, "Are you good? What are you doing?" And he walks closer and says, "I'm letting my dog piss." And he starts cursing and getting pretty aggressive, trying to intimidate me. At this point I'm just pissed off because I was trying to chill and this dude has been looking over my shoulder for 15 minutes watching me do literally nothing. I say, "Your dog has been pacing and pissing in the street for 15 minutes. And he says, "Yeah, they take a long time to piss, you got a problem with it?" I just laugh and say, "Alright bruh." I get back in the car and start recording him and telling my friends how he's been stalking me. He clearly gets frustrated and frantically pulls up his phone and starts pacing back and forth, and calls the police. I just sit there for a while because I'm thinking, what could he possibly do? I've done literally nothing. And then after about a minute he pulls the phone down from his ear and peeks down at the front of the car, clearly looking for a license plate, which is legally required in my state on the front, which I don't have. So then I realize that if cops actually do come I could get a ticket. So I leave making a little more noise than I normally would, trying to just get out of there. It's not technically illegal, but from his POV it looked like you were casing the neighborhood to rob it. He doesn't know you and can't know if you're that type of person or not. Lol. Esh. Parking in front of some rando's house in a residential neighborhood is sketchy as fuck. He first offered to help you and you should have realized what you were doing was weird and explained you would just be there for a short time, relaxing. He absolutely didn't need to escalate to calling the police, but also you could have pulled your head out of your ass and realized that you were freaking people out and to maybe find an actual parking space to chill instead of in front of a private residence. Info: is this something you do often? Drive in the dark to fancy parts of town? Sit in the car with the engine running for half an hour? The guy probably thought you were casing the place or a stalker. You are the asshole. You sound sketchy to me. YTA. Am I the asshole for kicking brother-in-law out over this? About 10 days ago my dad passed away from a long illness. Me, DH and our 3 young kids flew overseas for his funeral for 5 days. While away, house was meant to be empty. We paid our friend to clean for us while gone and check on the place. My husband offered for brother-in-law to use his car if he wanted. Bill doesn't have his own. Brother-in-law offered to do our bins for us. DH accepted and said if he did need to stay over for that he could. Saturday it was clear from our security cameras. Brother-in-law had invited himself to stay for the whole time. I was a bit pissed but waved it off. As long as he put the bins out and the house was safe, secure and tidy, it's okay. Saturday night all our security cameras go dark. DH messaged brother-in-law to ask if everything was okay cause our cameras had gone off. Brother-in-law said yes, everything was fine. Sunday got a message from our friend, cleaning, saying, "Oops. Just scared the shit out of Bill and the girl he had round." I asked her to clarify. Said she walked in on brother-in-law and a woman on our couch. Our friend then asked them to leave and they got their stuff from the master and en suite before leaving. Sunday night cameras all come back on. I go back to the timestamp where they went off, and see brother-in-law covering our security cameras. Note: these all are external only. He knew we had recently had our car stolen and it cost over $1,000 to sort. But here he is, covering our security cameras, to bring a random person into our house, and our bedroom, while we are gone. DH messaged Bill. "Who's the girl you had round?" Bill: "I don't know what you mean." DH says, "Boyfriend then." Brother-in-law responds, winking face. And hubby sends footage of him covering cameras and the message from our friend. Brother-in-law admits to having a woman around. Friend goes back Tuesday to check on things. She'd changed our sheets on Sunday, bed clearly slept in by Tuesday, and shit in our ensuite. She recleaned the general messes he'd made. Tuesday night in a phone call between DH and Bill, hubby tried to explain why we are upset and feel disrespected, and told him to leave immediately. Cameras, he doesn't like being filmed, they're not his security cameras to mess with. I don't think what he did to the cameras is okay. DH had to send the video of brother-in-law covering the camera and the message from our friend to him for him to come clean. He then lied to DH saying he didn't take the girl into our room, which he was seen doing. Using our bed is a whole other thing. There is a big spare bed. Our friend had to reclean, so hubby asked for a $50 cleaning fee from brother-in-law too. Brother-in-law ended the conversation by directing at me. "Okay, name. I know you're going through some stuff right now, so I'll tidy up and leave." But it had nothing to do with my feelings, and everything to do with how he behaved. We are married with 3 young children. This is our private family home. It's not a bachelor pad or Airbnb. I think it was really disrespectful and rude of him to treat it that way. I need third-party clarification. Am I the asshole? Exclamation mark. Not the asshole in any way. He knew what he was doing and was extremely disrespectful. He then went on to lie about it and pretend he wasn't the problem. Not the asshole at all. You never told him he could bring in a person you don't know. You never allowed him to use your bed, especially not for that. He probably had a place of his own where he could have taken her. Covering your cameras tells me he did more not okay stuff you don't even know about. You were right in kicking him out. Not the asshole. He knew he shouldn't be doing any of that, otherwise he'd 1. Tell you beforehand and 2. Not cover the cameras so you wouldn't see what he was doing. I don't think $50 is enough actually. How old is brother-in-law? 16. If he's older than that, why doesn't he have an apartment he can bring his hookers to? Not the asshole. 1. Brother-in-law was not asked to house sit. 2. He covered you security cameras. 3. Stayed in your room, not the guest room. 4. Blamed your emotions for his bad behavior. That guy needs to give his keys back and never be invited over again. What an AH.